Welcome back to the 9 News Business Buzz. I'm Ryan Frazier, 9 News business expert. Colorado's housing shortage is well documented, and traditional construction simply cannot build fast enough or cheap enough to solve it. But a new technology has arrived in the state that has caught the attention of our top lawmakers. On March 14th, Governor Jared Polis helped the ribbon cutting for Azure Printed Homes' new 25,000 square foot facility right here in Denver. They are 3D printing housing modules out of recycled plastic water bottles. To explain how this technology is fundamentally changing the construction industry, I'm joined by Azure's CEO and co-founder, Gene Edelman. Gene, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Ryan. Thank you for having me on.
It's great to have you. Gene, let's start with the physical materials. You're taking recycled plastic water bottles and fiberglass and turning them into structural homes. Walk us through the actual manufacturing process, and how does this plastic bottle become a wall that can withstand Colorado weather, whether it be wildfires or just the test of time?
Sure. Well, it's really a mix of recycled plastic and fiberglass. And fiberglass is a very strong material. People make boats from fiberglass. So fiberglass is kind of, well, it's only 40% of the mixture, but it is the main material that provides the strengths. And then plastic or recycled plastic serves as a resin that keeps it together. We also use light gauge steel for both the front and the back of the unit. And then we have some units that we make totally from light gauge steel. And on both, so we really have light gauge steel units, 3D printed units, and sometimes we have a combination of the two. And we've designed them so that they can, withstand the snow loads and wind. And we're based here in Los Angeles, earthquakes, cold weather, hot weather. We can insulate the units depending on where they're going.
Okay. I should correct myself. It was April 14th that you had the ribbon cutting with the governor. Now, when you opened your Denver facility, you had the governor and heads of state economic agencies in the room. You're projecting roughly 50 new jobs and 352 housing units a year out of this one building. And it's backed by a nearly $4 million loan through the Colorado's Proposition 123 Affordable Housing Financing Fund. Why did you choose Colorado as your expansion hub, and how critical is that state partnership?
Sure. No, it was critical to attracting us. I mean, when we were a startup 4 years ago, we opened our facility here in LA without any help from anybody. But our strategy was to open a factory in every time zone. Clearly, Mountain Time Zone is the next one on our path. And then we looked to the states that could provide incentives to come there. So the fact that there was this low interest loan that was available was a critical part, but also the fact that there is such a shortage of housing in Colorado. So both of those, the demand and incentives, is what made us attracted us to the state.
Yeah, so let's get back to the housing shortage. Now, in real estate development, time is one of your biggest expenses. Your data says you can print a structural shell in just 24 hours, cutting overall construction costs by 30%. How does that kind of speed completely change whether an affordable housing project actually gets built in the first place?
Yeah, prior to starting this business, I was an affordable housing developer myself. And the biggest question mark or challenge for any development is what the interest rates are going to be when the project is finished, because that's when you place permanent financing. So with average construction timelines for either single family or multifamily being calculated in years, right? You never know what the interest rate is going to be when the project is completed, which creates a lot of uncertainty. You a lot of times have to put up extra reserves. So here, with us being able to make the module itself in a day, finishing the unit in a matter of weeks, 3 to 4 weeks, we can guarantee the timeline where we'll deliver units to, say, multifamily project or affordable housing project in a matter of 2-3 months instead of years. So that not only does it save cost, but it really helps with certainty of what the cost is going to be when the project is completed. Also, all of our products are American made, so we're not subject to tariffs or long timelines for delivery. So a lot of those things went into, as we're thinking about this venture, those are the things that attracted me as a developer. And of course, lots of other people find it very attractive. We've already shipped products to 6 different states. and lots of interest from all over the country, including from Colorado.
Yeah. Now, it's one thing to print a backyard studio. It's another thing to solve a housing crisis. I know you utilize a hybrid system of steel and 3D printing for larger multifamily developments, and you already have, I believe, a 150-unit affordable housing project underway in the Oakland area. How quickly can this modular technology scale up to actually put a dent in the housing shortage crisis, not just here in Colorado, but across the country?
It really can. It really can happen. We just agreed to do 5 apartment buildings in San Diego area when they heard about our capabilities, and so it's just a matter of more people knowing about what we do and how we do it. With our Colorado factory now open, we give tours almost every day to potential developers and customers. Yeah, it really is, it can happen very rapidly.
Yeah.
So anybody who sees this program and who's interested to develop either a multifamily project or an ADU in their backyard, we would love to talk with them.
Yeah, I have to ask, Gene, because, for most folks, right, 3D printed housing is kind of a really strange concept that a lot of folks are trying to wrap their heads around. And here on the Business Buzz, we talk to everyday Coloradans, everyday Americans. So kind of help us further understand like how this industry is growing in terms of its importance and its role.
Yeah, people shouldn't be worried about new technology because building standards are very really look at safety and so we have to meet every building standard that's in place before we can get a permit from the state agency. So modular housing is overseen by state. That's where we would apply for a permit. And then, of course, local cities and counties approve the foundation, utility plans. So in this respect, while the technology is new, the approval method is very, very much standard. We need to meet all the criteria. For example, we're helping some homeowners here in the LA area rebuild their homes, and actually permits from the state for the structure itself were received months before local authorities approved the foundations. So things can move very, very quickly, and people might have difficulty kind of realizing how it's going to be done, but when they visit our factory or videos on our website, they get a lot more comfortable. And we've now delivered over 100 homes all over the country. And what was new maybe 4 years ago is not new anymore. And like I've said, the regulatory authorities that look at our product, and we have several certifications.
Well, Gene, thanks for that. And I very much appreciate you coming on the show. 352 homes a year right here in Denver, built from plastic water bottles and fiberglass. Sometimes the solution to 2 massive problems is found in one building. Gene Edelman with Azure Printed Homes, thanks so much for joining us, and so glad to have you all here in Colorado. We'll be watching closely as these homes start rolling off the line. For the 9 News Business Buzz, I'm Ryan Frazier. Have a great week.